Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. We are talking all about the new moon today and fun rituals you can do to utilize and work with the energies of the new moon. So let's get started. So I quite often find that with new moons, I have really vivid dreams, quite broken sleep, and I feel the energy quite intensely. I tend to feel quite emotional. That also aligns up with my cycle. Please do, of course, follow what lines up for your cycle, what your energy is. It's a really good idea to have a moon journal and to journal for at least 3 months just to kind of get an idea of what your cycle is with the moon. Not just if you bleed, but just in general, what does the moon bring up for you? And it might vary each month, so it's completely fine if it does that. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It's okay if it's the same for like 6 months and then it changes suddenly. That's fine. Stress or some kind of difficult situation can change our cycles, can change our connection to the moon. So please do listen to it and trust your body. So obviously new moons are great for setting intentions, great for kind of starting things, planting the seeds of things, thinking about what it is you want to achieve. As we said in the previous video about moons, when it comes to new moons, you're going to be looking at the sign and the degree that it's in, looking to see how it affects and connects with your natal chart, what it might be bringing up, which house, for example, it might be focusing on, what kind of planet it's bringing up for you, what you might need to focus your intentions or your healing on. And then you're also going to want to look at where you want to be in 6 months' time, because usually the full moon in the same sign in 6 months is this kind of completion of this journey, of this full cycle within that energy of that sign. So it's really important to keep an eye on that and to really focus on that. So I tend to set my intentions now thinking 6 months ahead. What do I want to have achieved in 6 months? It's really simple to do actually. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen or a laptop that you can type on and just write out what it is you would like. And it's great to write it out as if you already have it. So you can kind of do it as a gratitude list as well. So, you know, dear universe, thank you so much for bringing me blah, 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 because I am able to do blah, 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 or it's helped me with blah, blah, blah. Like really thinking about that. But you definitely really want to focus your intentions on what that moon sign is bringing up. So if it's like a Capricorn new moon, then you're going to be focusing on work, career. Whereas if it's a Libra new moon, you might be focusing more on relationships, connections with other people, really looking at that side of things. It's also important to be flexible with your intentions, and it's okay if you start with an intention and then think, actually, I'm not really sure I want to still do that, or maybe I'll change that and maybe alter that. And it's important to be really specific as well. If you've watched my manifesting video, then you know language is important when it comes to the divine. It's going to take you literally. So if you say, oh, thank you so much for bringing me abundance, as I said in my other video, sometimes that could be an abundance of wealth or an abundance of strife or an abundance of difficulty. So please do word things carefully when you're setting intentions, like thank you so much for bringing me financial abundance into this bank account through this stream or similar streams of revenue. So it's good to kind of think in that way. And then what you can also do is set mini goals for yourself. Like how can you actually achieve this intention? Like let's say you want to launch a project. What are the steps that you can take between now and the time that you want to launch it, or by the full moon where it's the sign of completion for this, that you can really start to bring that into fruition? So it could be, you know, okay, I've got a project of you're making something. Well, then you need to buy the supplies to make it. You need to organize your time so that you're able to have time each day to put towards this project. And then you need to think about the marketing, and then you need to think about, you know, how you can sell it and where you can sell it. So there's just little goals that you can set for yourself to make it tangible, to make it possible for you to actually manifest it. You have to do the work just as much as the universe is. And that's not to say that it's difficult to manifest, just that your action and your involvement is just as important as the universe is. So kind of recognizing that you need to take the action too. I also think this is a really great time to have a tarot reading or an oracle reading, because it just shows you if there's anything new coming in or anything you need to be aware of, or where you may want to focus your intentions, or where you may want to focus your healing, so that you are actually able to create the intentions you want to be manifesting. So I think this is a great time to have tarot readings and oracle readings. And you guys know that I love Olivia the Bull and I love her readings, so I would definitely recommend checking her out if you haven't already. so that you can really kind of get into that space of having readings to know what's going on energetically and spiritually for you at that time. It's also really good to journal ideas down. So you might have a notebook, and it could be your new moon notebook, where on the new moon, if you have an idea, you can just jot that down and either set an intention to manifest it, or when it comes to a more appropriate new moon to work with it, then you can step into that space to manifest it. So that can be really useful to do that as well. And again, you may want to dream journal, because if you're anything like me, you might have really vivid dreams around the new moon. Again, it can be really powerful to look at that 6 months down the line when you get to the full moon in that sign, to see what those dreams were telling you, or if you're having matching dreams now, and how you can really work with that energy. It's also a really good time to cleanse your energy, to cleanse your aura, to cleanse your space. So maybe you might want to do some decluttering, and maybe there's something that you are holding on to that might be blocking you receiving what it is you're here to receive. So if you haven't already done a full moon ritual to release that, then just declutter the space, make space, you know, maybe rearrange your altar, maybe go and do some cleaning in your house, just maybe donate some clothes that you don't need anymore. But something that can really cleanse your space, your energy. You might want to sage yourself, or you can use sound, remembering to be culturally appropriate, to really cleanse your space in yourself, because you're kind of like starting anew again, right? So working with that is really important. It's not uncommon again for women to bleed on the new moon. That is seen as more of the regular thing to happen. It's so fine if that's not what happens to you. Do not worry. You are your own unique being, and it's important to trust and listen to your body and follow your cycles. And if you no longer bleed, or you do not bleed, again, that's absolutely fine. You can, if you like, choose this to be your time as if you were bleeding, and take it and make it a time for rest, because quite often, you know, the full moon can be a time where people are a bit more awake, you know, they're a bit more alert, like things are going down, whereas the new moon can be a time for going within. It's that dark moon period, like going within yourself and seeing what it is you want to create and bring forth by the next full moon in that sign. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're enjoying working with the moon cycles. This video and my full moon video are just two really simple things you can do. You can of course work with the waxing and the waning moon if you'd like to as well, but for now I feel like this is such a great place to start and really get into the habit, and then you can expand it once you've got this down. So I really hope that you enjoy working with new moons, and I will see you in next week's video.